Alright, YouTube, there will definitely be links in the description on this video because it's just coming out in the mainstream press. And by the way, those of you who are more left-leaning, it's in CNN too on their opinion page, and I'll link that as well, so you can see the true glory of Hillary Clinton apparently watching as the past comes back to haunt her. What appears to have happened is that a conversation shortly after a case when she was a lawyer, she was defending an accused child rapist who had, supposedly raped a 12-year-old. Apparently there was an audio recording of a conversation she had thereafter, in which she actually chuckles about the case. I'll link the audio. It's right on YouTube, so you can listen to it too. Don't take my word for it. This is a tape from decades ago when she was a lawyer. Now, I can understand, before people berate me for saying, well, it was her job to defend him at any cost. I understand that. A public defender is supposed to defend, the accused. Regardless of whether they're guilty or innocent, their ultimate goal is to get them away from jail time, to get them off. Hopefully not get them off in the other sense of the term. But this is a conversation from afterwards, and she's laughing about getting someone she herself thought was guilty off. She's laughing about, he passed a polygraph test, and so I lost all faith in polygraph tests after that. By the way, polygraphs are generally inadmissible now because they have been proven to be wildly inaccurate. But she's laughing about it. She's actually laughing about a case. I would think the proper response for anyone with moral fiber and any sense of ethics would be to be sad that their job description included, yes, I have to defend this person who's probably guilty, and of course the person defending them is privy to information that doesn't even get released in court. They're going to ask that person, I need to know up front, regardless of the case itself, are you actually guilty? And they'll say yes or no. Hillary Clinton knew this person was guilty and then proceeded to crack jokes and laugh about it. Now, if you go to the leftist parts of the internet, we're talking Tumblr or Reddit, you'll see some people supporting her and saying that this is evidence that people are trying to swift boat her, despite the fact that it's audio of Hillary herself cracking these jokes, and despite the fact that these enclaves of social Marxism are also places where they go completely apeshit if anyone, defends a rapist in any other capacity. Apparently, because Hillary has a D after her name, or because she has a vagina, an old withered vagina, but a vagina nonetheless, apparently because of one or both of these two things, these same people that would normally be up in arms about these comments and jokes, if they had been made about anyone else under the sun, have no problem with it. Because it's Shillary Clinton, which is the name that I'm going to call her from now on. Shillary, because that's exactly what she is. This is a woman who has been dishonest from day one, who used to be Republican in the good old days, then she switched to the Democratic Party when she meant Bill, apparently, which is not a problem. And Hillary, I used to respect Hillary more than I do today. I used to think that she was more decent than Bill, and I didn't dislike Bill Clinton that much myself. However, as time has gone on, she seems to have gotten more vicious towards anyone who disagrees with or criticizes her, more dishonest, more pandering, more scheming, more hand-wringing. That's what it seems like to me. She's no longer this. She's not even as charismatic as she used to be. She used to be able to argue her way, argue rings around anybody. Quite literally, she could do that. She would confuse the best of them. You'd put, a star witness on the stand, and she'd probably pound him into shit. But Hillary's getting older now, and now I predicted before she wouldn't run anyway. And I still hold to that. I do not believe that Hillary Clinton will run for the White House. I don't think she will. I think she's gotten too old. I think she's tired of the bullshit. I think she's going to retire to public life. Her book's apparently been a disaster, which I think is good news for my prediction. And now this comes out, which I think is even better news for it. At this point, if Hillary Clinton had a stroke and lost the use of her legs, I think there'd be a lot of people who would be very happy about that. Because it's clear that this isn't... there's really no other way to put it. This is an evil individual. Just as dishonest as Jeb, at least, just as dishonest as anyone in the Bush family. And yet even they wouldn't laugh about freeing a child rapist. This is sick. And to tell the truth, I'm going to put it in plain language that people can understand. I can understand if you're a Democrat or a Republican. I don't get involved in partisan politics, but it's your prerogative. If you honestly are deluded enough to think that one party or the other is intrinsically better than the other because of lies they tell you on a daily basis in the media, then just go ahead. But if you support Hillary Clinton after this, after listening to this audio of her laughing about freeing a child rapist, which she herself thought was guilty, if you honestly support her after that, please unsubscribe from my channel. Don't comment on my videos. Leave me alone. I wouldn't want anything to do with you because that's just sickening. To tell the truth, you'd have to be either evil or retarded to support her after that anyway. I don't want evil people on my channel. Usually that's Christians, but some of my subscribers aren't. Or you'd have to have something mentally wrong with you. You'd have to have something severely wrong with you to think that this is okay. Even the social justice warriors, some of them are pointing out that this isn't okay. And usually they would follow Goddess Führer Hillary Clinton to the grave if she asked them to. They would literally orgasm in their pants if they were able to sniff her asshole. And yet even some of them are pointing out that this just seems fucked up. And yet there's still that small subsection of the population that's so partisan, so deluded, and it doesn't matter which side they support. There are Republicans and Democrats that are like this. There are people that are libertarians that are like this too and have a hard-on for marijuana legalization and don't care about any other issue. I'll say that much, which I'll actually go further than most libertarians and say there are members of the party itself that are assholes. You have to be dumb to support her after this. What kind of moron makes jokes like this? She's a complete and utter idiot. Is this and beyond that, the fact that she was apparently broke despite drawing a six-figure salary. She was supposedly broke when she and Bill left the White House. They still had a second home, but they were, trust me, they were broke and barely getting by on, $20,000 an hour speaking arrangements. So I don't think she could handle the economy very well either, since she obviously doesn't have a clue how to manage her own funds. So you don't want to give her yours, essentially your tax money to fool with. But seriously, come on, how ethically bereft can you possibly be to make this kind of joke? You don't even see, when a Republican does this, Murdoch or any of these other idiots, and I called them out during the election when they did this. Murdoch was the worst with his legitimate rape comments. No, that was Akins. Murdoch said something else. I think it was, one of them said, oh, women's bodies have a way to prevent themselves from getting pregnant from rape, which is ludicrous. It's wrong. Another one of them said something about legitimate rape, about like, oh, there are forms of rape that aren't really rape. Yeah, okay. If the Republicans do this, everyone's up in arms, says that's insensitive, that's evil, that's horrible, you shouldn't say that, I would never vote for them, anyone who votes for them is a moron and evil. Well, I'm going to say the same about Hillary. Anyone who's voting for her, or considering voting for her, or supporting her, or giving her ethical support after this, you have to be insane. You have to be completely bereaved of all morality, even subjective morality. Even the worst cultish groups on earth would probably find this sickening, and yet there will still be people who clamor to watch her become the next president. Well, no, she doesn't deserve that. She didn't deserve it before these comments were released for public consumption. Now I'm even more sure about it, and I'm even more sure she won't run. So you can give up your orgasmic wet dreams of seeing her withered cunt dripping around the White House. She's not going to run. I can almost guarantee it after this. She's not Teflon Dawn like Bill was. She's not quite as able to do those things as he was, to get around any scandal by simply making up some weird, well, it depends on what the definition of is statement to use for his own convenience. She is unable to do that. She's also aging, which is something people don't seem to understand, that she would be the oldest president since Ronald Reagan, who was the oldest president of all when he was in office. And he suffered probably from mild Alzheimer's from the time of his first term, and there were people that talked about this and wondered what Reagan was doing. But he was Reagan, so it was okay. Just like if Hillary got in there and started, shitting her pants and being wheeled around because she can't walk anymore, people would say, well, that's okay, it's Hillary Clinton and she's a goddess. Give up your wet dream. Just admit to me now that Hillary has no moral backbone whatsoever and is a complete and utter failure. She will never be the US president. I can almost guarantee that. At this point, there would be people even on the far left who would take one look at this audio transcript and not vote for her, so who the hell's gonna back her? She has the right wing somehow terrified of her. I'm just sitting here saying, probably won't even run. If she did, she wouldn't get the nomination. They passed her over last time for no-name Barack Obama, even though she won the most votes in the primaries. Didn't you notice that? That they didn't want her to run? Because they knew she'd lose, because she's got all this baggage. And now she's got even more baggage. She's just an asshole. And she gets... Lawyers shouldn't even be in politics. They get paid to lie all day, whether they're a public defender or a prosecutor. Or a judge. It doesn't matter what realm of law they get into. They're paid to lie. What part of this do people not understand? That they're a cancer on society until you get falsely accused. That's the only time that you should really want a lawyer. Or if the IRS comes after you because you're too right-leaning, apparently, and then they'll lose their emails, so your lawyer will say, sorry, I can't do anything for you. Sorry, you're just going to have to pay up. That's about all. You know, Hillary is Shillary, Shitlery, Hitlery, whatever you want to call her, rubbing her hands together and dancing around on stage like, you know, like a fucking possessed dwarf or something. She's just crazy. This woman's lost her mind. And there will probably be people who will say that this video is sexist. Well, you know, that's okay. I'm willing to be sexist in the case of Hillary Clinton. Because it bothers me when somebody cracks jokes about, you know, someone who, you know, raped a 12-year-old. Yeah, that's pretty low down on my list of people I'd want to be around. I actually shook Hillary Clinton's hand once when I was a little kid. She came to the town that I was living in. I should probably get my hand surgically removed now, because that post dates this trial. So I should probably get my hand chopped off to save the rest of myself from her gangrenous illness of stupidity. That's about all. Peace out.